Let's do this.
Hey.
Here comes the drop.
All right. You are now listening to the Cheatcoders podcast with Nats, not Nats, Don, Raph, and Esky. Yo. I was trying to do the Avengers thing, but I totally forgot what it was. But welcome.
I've forgotten it as well. You can't do it in. You can't say it in
Yo. Welcome to another episode of the Cheatcoders podcast. My name is Raph, and I'm here with my usual suspect, Don, doing stuff.
What's doing?
And a not a usual suspect in the form of Esky.
Ta-da!
Because we are here at Street Uni in Mount Druitt. Shout outs to you guys for letting us use your space.
Yeah.
So since Esky's here, we might as well get his opinions on something that we're going to be talking about today, which is going to be something incredible and something magnificent and something spoilery, because we're going to spoil a lot of shit and we're going to have our thoughts on this magnificent movie that we just watched, and it was called Avengers Endgame. All right, let's play a game and do a non-spoiler review.
Okay.
Just for the people who want to just hear our thoughts on it, before they get into the movie, and then we'll do that for about 5 to 10 minutes. Then after that, we're just gonna go all geeked out and just talk about Endgame with no filter, no nothing. And it's weird just looking at you guys side to side. But let's do our thing. Let's start off with Don. What's your thoughts, non-spoiler?
Non-spoiler thoughts. Endgame is a great movie. It really pays off a lot of the fans' time that they put in. Like, if you've been watching the Marvel movies from the very beginning, if you've been watching the very first one, which is Iron Man.
Yep.
So that was the first one, I guess, of the official MCU. There are so many little tidbits and little Easter eggs that come from that movie and all of the 22 movies?
Yeah.
From that entire MCU. And yeah, you walk away from the movie feeling like you know everything about the characters, and it just makes you feel like, yes, the time that I've invested, the hours that I've invested in watching these movies, I feel fulfilled and satisfied, because that's what Endgame does. It basically just ties everything up into a neat little package.
Definitely. How about you, Esky? Non-spoiler. What's your non-spoiler review?
I thought it was awesome. Just like Don said, how many? 12? 12 movies?
22.
Oh, 22?
Yeah.
22 movies.
Yeah.
I think I've only seen 12.
Damn, son. But you still enjoyed it.
I loved it. I loved it. I think, for them to do something like that, because it just takes so much time and effort and incredible scheduling just to get everyone involved.
Yeah.
And it must have been just an awesome feat. I think it would probably be the movie of the decade, I reckon.
Yeah.
That whole franchise is just, I don't know if you can repeat that again, but it's awesome. And to see it summed up in a great movie, not a crappy sequel, is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this is when you see a great TV series that has a great series finale and just wraps it up in a nice bow. This is what we got in this movie. We got the whole... you get the benefits of actually being invested in these characters. You get the benefits of actually just going through how many hours of just watching the whole storylines. Little throwaway lines are part of this universe that they created.
Yep.
And then you just in your head, you're like, oh, I know that. I know this. And especially if you're a comic book head, which I'm not, and I know Don is, and then you get little tidbits of that too. So
I don't know if you could
crazy.
tell the Iron Man with the Iron Man arc reactor plugged into my
And I like how
today.
they kept it under wraps, trailer. All the trailer stuff is pretty much is nothing compared to what this plot is.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much my non-spoiler thing. I reckon it was awesome. I think it's got to be like this combined with Infinity War has to be the best ending of anything.
Yeah.
Of anything. TV series, movie saga. And this is kind of like, this is a huge event. It takes it back to like, well, I was too young to experience the Star Wars phenomenon when it was happening.
Yeah.
And I had to experience afterwards. But this is probably the closest thing that I would get in terms of a cultural experience, in terms of geeking out to the max and waiting. Because like throughout the whole day, I had to block out the social media because I knew something would leak somehow, and I would be pissed as. And I was getting anxious walking into the cinema because like people have seen it and they're walking out.
Yeah.
And then you would usually get the post-cinema conversations like leaking out of there.
Did you guys see that? There was an article, and I mean it was on the internet, so I can't confirm if this is true or not. But there was a guy who got beat up for trying to spoil Endgame for people walking into the cinema.
It's how invested everyone is in these movies. Like, imagine like going through 22 years of anticipation. Not 22 years, but 10 years of anticipation, 22 movies. And then you're walking into the cinema and one big plot line of the movie has been released.
Yeah, it is one of those movies that you have to go in with fresh, like if you're watching it for the first time, you have to go in not expecting anything. Like if you go in being like, okay, they're going to do this and this and this, it kind of spoils the movie for you. I think it spoils any kind of movie when you go in with particular expectations. But I think this movie, you're able to sit in it and be immersed in the story. And it's 3 hours, but it doesn't feel like 3 hours.
It didn't feel like 3 hours at all.
I wanted more, actually. I wanted to just keep going for another hour, like especially like particular scenes that we won't say until later on.
Yeah, I mean, like another thing that isn't spoilery, there is no end credit sequence. There's no kind of like.
It's a bow tied up, you know.
Post-credit scene.
Well, I wish someone did spoil that for me because we waited till the end.
I actually knew about it, but I'm like, after 22 movies, waiting till the end, I'm kind of accustomed to it.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna, knowing that there's nothing gonna happen, I'll just sit there and just watch the credits go up.
Yeah. What I like is that seeing the entire credits like roll, that makes me appreciate the movie more because it shows you how many people it takes a village to create something as massive as that.
Kudos to Marvel, man, doing it right.
Yeah, and I think doing those post credit scenes made them be like, I feel like that was an idea for them to say, how do we get people to watch the credits? Like I want this makeup artist to have their, because no one really watches it. Even if you watch a DVD or watch a, something on TV, the credits, as soon as the credits roll, you cut it off.
Yeah.
Once the lights turn on in the cinema, walk
out of there.
Out of there. Get your parking ticket, friggin', what you call it, get the extra hour.
Yeah, you validate your parking.
Yeah, that's it. And then just get out of there. But this one, I was just like, like everyone's like next to me saying, there's no credits. There's no credit sequence, like, and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, I'm just accustomed to this, you know.
Doesn't matter.
It's part of my Marvel blood now. I'm in this fandom that no matter what they make, I'm gonna stay till the very end.
Apparently, and I need to confirm this as well, that at the very end, there is no end credit sequence, but there is a sound, and it sounds like metal clanging, and it's as if I've read that it's the sound of Iron Man making his first suit of armor.
Okay.
From the very first movie, so it's kind of like come full circle.
Yeah. There's a lot of circles that have been full circled out.
Yeah.
But I think it's our time to let the viewers know that we're going to go into spoiler territory.
Spoiler alert.
Because I am anxious to talk about some particular things. So if you haven't seen the movie, this is the part where you turn off the podcast. Thank you for the listen. It's been awesome. But come back again. And then listen to this point.
After you've watched the movie, come back.
Come back at this point, which is, I think it's about 10 minutes, and give us another listen. So, nice marketing tool that we have there. So,
are we gonna pay any bills? We're gonna have messages from our sponsor.
Let's do it. So we'll be back after these messages. And we're back. And we are here to spoil Marvel's 22nd film?
The
called 23rd or 22nd?
There's a lot of films.
Yeah,
so
a lot
many
of films. The
man.
latest film,
so many films.
Avengers Endgame. So in case you're still here, because you love the ad that we just presented, we're going to let you know. We're going to give you 3 seconds to just fuck off and watch the movie. And then we're going to spoil it with you.
Warning.
So
warning. Spoiler warning.
So spoiler in
if
3.
you haven't seen Avengers Endgame,
get out.
Pause this podcast and watch it and then come back and enjoy the podcast.
All right, in 3, 2, 1.
Captain America dies.
Yes, sir.
Oh god. No, Willie does it.
He doesn't.
He does it.
He doesn't.
And that's another episode of the Cheatcoders.
A bunch of trolls. All right, so this is the spoiler territory. Let's go around the table. Let's talk. You wanted to see what your... Let's go sense the vibes and everything. I'm excited to talk about this. Let's start off with Don, because we always start off with Don. What's your favorite part of the movie, or what's something that stands out to you? Because there's a lot going on in this movie.
So much.
A lot.
There is.
So much. So, I think one of my favorite parts was, there's so many like moments in the movie that I felt like I just wanted to stand up and do the clap. I actually did it. I was like, sit down.
What, at the end or like during the
movie? Like that
It's
part where where Captain America goes, "Let's go get this son of a bitch." I was like, oh shit.
That was at the start. That's not spoilery anything.
Down in front.
I was just like, yes.
There's a clip out there.
Yes, get him.
I like the fact that they actually they didn't add that scene from the post credit of Captain Marvel, where she's like, "Where's Fury?" They just started off, and then it was Iron Man and Nebula in space, and then you see Captain Marvel rescuing him and taking him down. It started from there. It's kind of like Marvel saying, "Yeah, you should be seeing these movies.
Yeah,
we're not gonna catch you up on things."
There's no previously on the Avengers.
Yeah, because if you haven't seen Captain Marvel and then you're just coming from Infinity War, the start of this movie is a bit weird, because where did Captain Marvel come from?
What I like is how they kind of wrapped up those those loose ends. So if you come in watching it from Infinity War, and you see Captain Marvel there, then Rhodey asks the question that we would ask as the audience. He's like, "No disrespect, but where the hell have you been this whole time?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's like,
"Yeah."
And she's got to do that service to the audience. I've been here and there.
Many other planets. I'm Captain Marvel.
Yeah, I've been protecting planets.
Yeah.
Earth, other planets don't have people like you guys.
Yeah, I've been protecting
I was
planets,
like,
and you've been protecting planet. I've
Yeah,
been
exactly.
protecting multiple of them. But what was your favorite scene?
Okay.
Moment. We'll say moments. We won't say scene.
Okay. Favorite moment when Cap wields Mjolnir.
We're gonna go straight into that.
Captain America wields Mjolnir. I was like, I kind of foresee it because they foreshadow it in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Where when they try to lift the hammer.
That's a funny scene too.
Yeah.
And then Thor's like, oh shit, and then he drops it. It's like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm still the worthy one. I love that.
And the thing I like about that scene as well is that it's not only development for Captain America's character, it's also development for Thor's character. Because like you said, in that scene in Age of Ultron, Thor's like, fuck, I'm the one who's supposed to be able to, I'm the worthy one. I'm only me. But then when Captain America picks it up, he's like, I knew it. And
I knew it with
happy.
a smile in his face.
Yeah, he was happy. And I was like, yeah, his character has evolved. His character has become stronger and more secure in himself, even though he's a fat cunt. No,
man,
Spoiler
Fat Thor is hilarious.
But I hope if he's in the next couple of movies, keep him fat. Like he just looks mad.
He's now an Asgardian.
Fat.
He's Asgardian of the galaxy now.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting. I reckon he's gonna be going through the Groot phase. You know how Groot's not fully Groot now. Yeah. He's gonna slowly grow back to being the Thor that we know.
Yeah.
He's gonna be probably he's right now is obese Thor. Now he's gonna be dad bod Thor, and then after that he's gonna be like thin, fat, nearly working out the arms but not the body Thor, and then he's gonna be fully built Thor, and then that's the Groot route. So that'll be funny because when I think the next Guardians, Groot will be Groot, and then Thor will be fat Thor, Viking Thor,
and like all the characters have evolved throughout the movies, and like it wasn't necessarily my favorite out of the favorite moment, but it was a pretty cool moment when like Hulk and Bruce Banner become one person. And you see, even though he hasn't had his own movie, you see his character evolution throughout all of the films.
Yeah, he started off really bitter in Avengers, always sarcastic, bitter about like the other guy, the other guy this, the other guy that, had that tone that was really bitter about it. And then he grew to be, acceptant of being the Hulk and have this complicated relationship. And then you see in Infinity War, he wants the Hulk to come out, but the Hulk doesn't come out at all. And then this one, it's fused between the two.
They're
and
combined.
Now is just this gigantic smart Hulk, just wearing clothes, wearing a shirt. And it's funny seeing when they time travel back, which is going all over the place. So who cares? But when he time travels back to 2012 at the Battle of New York, and then you see the rage of Hulk smash and everything, and then you see
it's directly compared.
It's like now you realize what the Hulk is now. He's just like, I really don't want to do this,
and that's
I can, but I won't.
And that's what I love about what they've done is that these characters have evolved so much to the point where, like, if you've been watching all 22 movies, that Hulk was just some brute. And then at this point in time, he now is coherent. He's now, Bruce Banner's intelligence plus the strength of Hulk. So it's like, if you think about it, like if that was Raph, right? Raph was struggling with the Hulk powers, because I know him personally. When he gets to the point where he's now strong and intelligent because he's reconciled with himself, I'm like, I'm so happy for my friend. I'm so like, I'm just emotionally invested.
That was the same feeling you got when you saw the Hulk and Banner.
Yeah. I'm just like, oh, my mate, he's doing well, man. He's doing all right.
Yeah. Like them two, Thor and Hulk, were the comedic comic relief in the whole movie. And I think I'm gonna predict that we're not gonna see a proper Hulk smash for a while.
No,
it's gonna be one of those build-up events. Like, when are we gonna see Hulk? The last time we saw Hulk smash was probably the beginning of Infinity War, and he lost.
Yeah,
and then now we're just gonna be going through a bunch of movies. He's gonna be probably restricted to cameos here and there, doing the beast, being the beast of the X-Men. And pretty much carrying that role, and then we're eventually gonna build his character even more, and then eventually he'll do that Hulk smash that we wanted to do. Because like we didn't see much of the Hulk battle too much this movie.
Yeah, no, there wasn't any of that. He was the intellect in this movie, but with the body of Hulk. I guess for the listeners out there, let's just do a quick recap of the plot line.
Yeah, let's at least do that, and then we'll go through each and every one of the characters and their arc.
Yeah.
All right, so we start off with Hawkeye with his kids and his family, and then they disappear. What's your thoughts on that choice of the start of the movie?
Some people are hanging. Edit point. Some people are like getting lit outside in Andro right now.
Sorry, go on.
We're going to keep that in anyway. I guess. Hopefully you see it.
So Hawkeye's family disappears.
What's your thought on that being the opening scene? Because before anything happens, before this Avengers sign pops up, before the normal Marvel stuff comes up.
Yeah, there wasn't anything.
It wasn't anything. It was that. That was the start.
What do you reckon, Esky?
Yeah, I liked it. Like,
you're heartless. His family disappeared, and
I like how it started because
it set the tone for the first act.
Yeah, I'm not a massive comic book fan, but I was a big fan of Hawkeye.
Yeah, he was the most interesting that he's ever been in this movie.
Yeah. Well, even in the comics, I was a fan of Hawkeye.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was great. I don't know how to. I haven't really thought about the film where I can fault it yet. I don't quite understand the whole why they couldn't bring back Scarlet. I mean,
we'll get
Black
there.
Widow.
We'll get there.
Black Widow,
We'll
yeah.
get there.
But anyways, yeah, I thought it was great.
Yeah,
It was good.
I think it set the tone and reminded the audience of how the previous movie ended.
Yeah.
Like that tone, I was like, and then it ended with that music that kept that tone going. They just wanted to keep a reminder to the audience that shit's real.
It also set the tone for what happened to him after, like during and Infinity War. All of this stuff happened, and I think after that it goes into you see the rest of the Avengers. Right?
After that, you see Tony and Nebula on the ship, abandoned in space.
Yes, yeah, and they're playing flick soccer.
Yeah,
like the game with the.
That's funny.
That whole first act
I love
was
that.
really dark. Like that was very apocalyptic feel and very dark. It's like, what the fuck are we gonna do type of thing.
Yeah,
Like
and see, that part is also an evolution for Nebula's character, because
the whole movie is like, this was like Nebula's and Hawkeye's time to shine.
Yeah.
Like the side characters' time to shine. The side characters and the top characters, they're like, everyone's shining in here. But they're like, people who shined in Infinity War didn't have much shine in this movie.
Yeah.
And it was reversed. The only person who had shine in both movies was Tony Stark, which we'll go to then. But I like the part where he was still bitter about Captain America. So it showed that there wasn't any resolution yet. Between the two, they still had conflict.
War, basically.
Yeah. So I'm glad they didn't like fully just cut out Civil War out and their conflicts and stuff.
Yeah, so from there, Tony and Nebula are in space. They're stranded. Tony does that. You see it in the trailer. One of the trailers that Tony speaks to Pepper through his helmet, and then he goes to lie down, and that's basically him going, "Well, I'm
done.
I'm done." And then Nebula kind of puts him in the chair to make him fall asleep in the chair, which is a nice moment because she's always been the assassin. I will kill people, but she's actually helping Tony. And then Captain Marvel comes to rescue them and then brings them back. And then that's that part where you were saying that he still has
bitter.
He's still bitter towards Captain America.
It looks like a druggie, very skinny, very
looks
pale,
really disheveled,
which is crazy. And that's when they find out that Thanos is used the stones.
Yeah,
and they travel to
the Garden Planet,
with his retirement plan. So I don't want to go through the step by step of this plot because we're going to be here for like ages. Let's go cut to the part where they got Thanos and the present Thanos, and eventually kill the villain. So what's your thoughts on that? Like their choice of killing Thanos early in the movie.
I think that was more that completely has to do with Thor's character arc, because Thor in the previous film in Infinity War was like, I failed. I basically fucked up. I want to kill Thanos, and that's all he wants to do. When they go to find the stones to, they go to confront him again. He doesn't have the stones because he's destroyed them, and Thor's like, well, screw this. Cuts off his hand. Cuts off his head. Done.
What he should have done in the first movie.
Yeah.
In Infinity War, he should have done that, but he didn't. And now he did it.
Late. Yeah.
It doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Because that Thanos he's already content with life. He was ready to die. He's already done what his whole life was based on.
Yeah.
So he had nothing else to live for, just to relax and just die as a farmer. And so that kind of set the dark tone. And then when it went to fade to black and said 5 years later, I'm like, oh man, they've been dealing with this shit for 5 years. Shit. So what's your thoughts on the next part of the movie when they have to deal with what happens?
The fallout.
Yeah. Pretty much what happened.
What do you reckon, Ace?
I can't say, I don't it's an awesome movie. I don't know what to say. I love it.
Shit.
I love every little bit of it. I just think it was so when they killed Thanos, and then after it 5 years later, I would have been content with that. I would have been like Iron Man, I really liked how they kept their time with convincing Iron Man throughout the film to like go ahead with going back in time.
Yeah.
Because I thought that was a really emotional point. I like the whole, when I watch a film, I like how the emotions come into play.
Yeah.
And I'm skipping ahead, but one of my favorite scenes was the Black Widow and Hawkeye.
Oh yeah.
Fighting to die, literally die.
That was my favorite scene of the whole film.
Yeah. The
I
two
think-
characters that were less powered than the rest of them really made the sacrifice play.
They just
early in the movie.
They killed that scene. Was just like, that was perfect. I thought that's.
I really thought that was his like Hawkeye's time to die. I was like, all right, they're gonna kill Hawkeye.
Kill him off. Of course, they're gonna kill him off.
They're
Like
gonna kill him off.
yeah,
He's
and
the
then-
less like less powered and less popular one out of all of them. Even though this movie was like his time to shine.
Yeah.
And then they killed Black Widow, and then I'm like, oh shit, I genuinely got shocked about that.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh, I didn't know they're gonna pull it off. Like they're creating a movie right now. So now we know like it's got to be a prequel or some sort. But
before that, like you didn't want Hawkeye to die, but when it came to that scene, it was like
it made sense. Yeah?
He just had to. He's changed. He's become someone who he wasn't before. He's out there killing people now, and you thought, he's done his time. And then when
the relationship was. It's funny how their relationship made that arc, because I think Hawkeye found Black Widow, and she was pretty much killing. She's like
It was the same situation, thing, but flipped over.
So now it was her turn to get him out of that, and then back. I like that relationship how it flipped.
Yeah.
And then now it ended up at this scene, which made it more impactful. And obviously, I've heard the reviews how convenient that them two were on that planet to get the Soul Stone. Yeah. It's convenient, but then I realized that Nebula was with them. So it's got to be like Nebula orchestrated that, because she knew how to get the Soul Stone in the first.
She could have just said, one of you has to die.
But then that would just change everything.
Right. That's right. That didn't click for me.
Yeah, so because knowing that Nebula was with them, and that kind of put headcanon to the fact that that's the reason why them two was placed in that position.
Yeah.
Because I read a review, imagine if it was just Thor and Ant-Man, people who had just met. It's like, I don't really love you. So they wouldn't be able to get the stone,
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, so many emotions in this movie. Yeah, that scene, I was like, oh, God. Yeah. I was edge of my seat.
As soon as they were walking up and they saw a Red Skull, I was like, oh, man, someone's going to die. Who is it?
Someone has to die.
Someone has to die. There's no way around it. And then...
I was thinking, when he says you need to sacrifice that which you love, I would have been like, Hawkeye just takes his bow and throws it. I love this bow. Or give me my soul stone.
Or Black Widow cuts the white part of her hair because she loved that hairstyle. I love that hairstyle. But then soul for a soul.
Yeah.
They could have just cut their foot. Soul for a soul.
We can talk about your favorite moment. Oh, you.
Yeah, just do it. All right.
Because we've been rehashing the plot.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite moment?
My favorite moment would have to be. Let me think. I'm not gonna say favorite moment. I'm just gonna say a moment when they go to New Asgard and find first time we see Thor in his state. It reminded me of the days when I was in high school playing video games with my mates in Mount Druitt, because Thor is Australian. The actor is Australian, and then the Korg, the actor in that is Kiwi.
Yeah.
So
shout outs.
Naturally, I felt at home in Mount Druitt. And I was like, they're playing video games, and I'm like, man, everyone in Australia or even in Western Sydney has got to relate to this, because I had fun with that. They're like, so Thor just giving up and being fat Thor, Viking Thor, seeing that for the first time. That just kind of added to the comedic elements of the movie, and I loved it.
It was comedic, but it was also sad.
Yeah.
And it, because after seeing that, you don't fully appreciate just how much shit he's gone through.
Dude lost his whole half of his kingdom.
Yeah,
family.
He lost all his family.
All of his family.
And at the end of that, you wouldn't be Like you as me as a person, I wouldn't be. Yeah, I'm okay. Let's go save the world again. I'd be like,
nah, just let go.
like fuck this. What's the point of anything? It doesn't. No matter what I do, I haven't been able to fix anything. I haven't been able to succeed in anything. So, in that situation, a normal human being
made sense
would be depressed, like he is now, like in that moment.
I love the flip between that and Valkyrie as well, because like Valkyrie was just the drunk between the two.
Yeah.
There's a lot of flips going on here, but that's the character arcs, which is awesome. And like I love the fact that he was willing just to go back and but he was still doubting things, but he wanted to give it a shot. Or maybe he wanted to be that was on the plane, but it was awesome to see Fat Thor. Fat Thor was awesome.
There's a little Easter egg in that scene. Apparently Korg, who is voiced by Taika Waititi, is dressed like Taika Waititi.
Okay.
Yeah, because he got the...
He's got like the tropical
shirt,
pineapple shirt.
Yeah.
I love it.
I love that they introduced that character. I didn't think they'd put him in there.
Yeah,
and then seeing them,
And it's weird because it's like how, like all of those little details then come full circle in another movie. And you're like, what? How did you manage to remember to put all of these things? How did you...
Shout outs to the directors, Russo brothers.
Yeah.
By actually, creating this movie, which actually connects a lot to the other movies. Like, you could be a director and be like, fuck it, I'm making my own type of movie.
Yeah.
And some people would say Iron Man 3 was the case. It's just like its own movie. But this one was like a very... It was its separate movie. I like comparing the Infinity War and Endgame as a Kill Bill 1 and Kill Bill 2. As Infinity War is full action, it's what's happening. It's typical superhero movie with a lot of action, a lot of bang, 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 as in that. And this one, Endgame, very story based, like Kill Bill 2. And there's a few fight scenes, but those fight scenes count. And are very, very character based, story based, and put things to full circle. So that's my take. If you've seen it and you agree with that take, then shout outs to you too.
Man, I want to watch it again just because of the Easter eggs in it.
Yeah, there's got to be a couple that you missed.
Like apparently, they've said that it's important for you to watch some of like the first movies to begin with, but even little details like when Tony is dying and Pepper comes up and she's saying it's okay, is a direct reflection from the first Iron Man movie, where she's pulling out the arc reactor out of his chest and she's replacing it. It's a similar thing where she's like, it's okay. Like just that, because my brother was watching it today and he told me that moment. He's like, that's the same scene. I'm like, how the heck? And it just gave me goosebumps just to think about the attention to detail that they've put into that.
And they made it work.
They made it work, man.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Totally
awesome.
Apparently, in one of the big fight scenes, Howard the Duck is there.
Which one? The massive scene at the end?
Yeah. He's there with the Ravagers. Apparently. I've read this and I want to watch it again just to double check.
I didn't even know the Ravagers were there. I was like,
who are the Ravagers?
They're
Peter Quill was a part of them, and
Yondu's crew.
Oh yeah. Oh, were they there?
I didn't know they were there. There was so much going on. Let's just get into that. Like your first thoughts of Avengers actually assembling. That part was a spectacle that was worth.
I had goosebumps.
That was the spectacle worth 22 movies.
You know that reminds me of is the beginning of the old X-Men cartoons.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, it's like you can never achieve that on film, and then they did it. They had every star on there.
Oh man!
And I think a lot of movies, something like Star Wars, those things are just. Like those types of massive fight scenes get lost. Like you gloss over it because it doesn't matter. Like it's just big things. It's just a big cluster of people smashing into each other. But this scene, because you knew that Black Panther was there. You knew that Stephen Strange, Doctor Strange was there.
Yeah.
You knew that Drax was back, and you knew every single character there. You're like, oh, this isn't just a massive fight scene of just clusters of people smashing into each other. It's like, there's my mate, and there's my other mate, and there's my other mate.
You knew it was gonna happen. Like everyone knew that scene was gonna happen. But like when it did happen, shit went down. I was happy with like Thor, Iron Man, Cap versus Thanos. Like that sequence was awesome. I was like, what the fuck's going on? This is crazy.
Oh man.
And then when you saw that everyone joining up together, and right before Captain America says Avengers Assemble, he calls for the hammer. Unreal shit.
Yeah.
And that shit went down. It was something to behold. Like I can't really describe it on this podcast. It's just something you just have to watch. One of the main reasons I want to watch it, like as soon as I saw that scene, I was like, yeah, I'm definitely watching this another few times.
Yeah.
I have to.
My brother watched it 3 times in one day.
Already?
In
one day. That's 9 hours. Yeah.
What do you mean? Like he booked in the tickets knowing he was going to watch it 3 times?
No, I think he watched it 2 times in one day and then another time. But he said he watched it 3 times already. And I'm like, what? Since it's been out?
It just came out. It just came out.
He's like, yeah, we booked this at 6 p.m. and then we watched it again at 9 p.m. And I'm like, what?
Wow.
Like legit, I thought Ant-Man died when he got blown up. Like the Avengers headquarters got blown up by the ship. I thought everyone was like the only survivors would probably be like the main 3. Yeah. I thought everyone would die. I thought everyone was gonna die in that scene.
Yeah.
But they didn't go for it. I was like, oh damn it, because that would have been dark if they killed half of the crew that was there, like Hawkeye, Ant-Man, probably like I don't know who else. But imagine they just killed everyone at one spot, and the only survivors were Iron Man and Cap, and then that's when everyone else comes in. But like, no, they didn't pull that. They didn't pull the trigger on that one.
What do you guys think is going to happen in the next movies? So we know at this point that
you want to speculate now.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Like there's because the next movie that's coming out is going to be Spider-Man Homecoming, right?
Far From Home.
Far From Home, right? Sorry. And then there's going to be Black Panther 2, Doctor Strange 2. There's
Guardians of the Galaxy 3, which is an interesting one.
Yeah.
Gamora is Guardian Galaxy 1 Gamora.
Yes.
Yeah. And now they have Thor.
And she hasn't experienced life.
After Thanos.
Yeah, she hasn't experienced that life where... that basically, Guardians of the Galaxy 1. She hasn't gone through that journey.
Yeah. Before that movie, like...
yeah. And you mentioned As Guardians of the Galaxy. That's actually a comic book that they've put out where Thor isn't in the As Guardians of the Galaxy, but it's cool that they mention it because in the comic book they actually are looking for Gamora as well.
No, which is
really
cool.
Yeah. So, but the story of that is that Gamora manages to get all of the Infinity Stones, and then kills Thanos, and then halves the universe. But instead of like disappearing half of the universe, she folds it in half.
Okay.
So it combines characters together.
Oh right, I see.
You gotta read the comics.
We're definitely not going to get that in the cinematic universe.
And so they create new characters just for the fun of it because one of it was Ant-Man mixed together with Hulk. So the smaller he gets, the stronger he gets.
That's dope.
That's pretty sick.
There was one that was like Black Widow mixed with She-Hulk.
Okay, so
there's all the
Assassin She-Hulk type of vibes.
There's all of these different characters, but what do you guys think is going to happen with the next movies? Like, where do you think they're going to take it?
There's got to be consequences of bringing back half the universe 5 years after they were disappeared. So we've got people who are the same age coming back with people who are 5 years older, a la Ant-Man and his daughter.
Yeah.
But then we're going to have to get consequences around as well. Imagine that. Your brothers are pretty close in age, right?
Yep.
You disappear and you're the oldest, right?
Yep.
You come back. They're 5 years older. They're all pretty much older than you.
Yeah.
Technically.
They will be,
And then you do have people after 5 years, you got people moving on from people who disappeared.
Yes.
Imagine you moved on from your girlfriend who disappeared. Probably on the 4th year, you moved on finally, built a new life, got a new girlfriend. On the 5th year, boom.
And then she comes back.
I was like, shit.
I just got over you.
Overpopulation as well.
Now
because
this is going to be a complicated, conversation with my current girlfriend.
Oh, damn it. And then overpopulation, because after 5 years, the population would have grown from what it was 5 years ago.
Yeah, that's true.
And then half the universe comes back. So there's got to be a consequence of that snap coming. Because as in, like they did the consequences of the Avengers tearing shit down and not caring about people dying in the process. If Marvel is smart, I reckon they should bank on the consequences of the snap back.
Here's the thing that I wanted to talk about as well. So Tony Stark snaps away 2014 Thanos and his army. So that means that the...
Oh, here we get time travel talk.
The time travel, like this,
I hate time travel talk.
like this, that means that the events that happen after Guardians of the Galaxy 1 never happen.
They're saying that's not the case in this type of time travel, which would be would be cancelled out by Captain America at the end. But they're saying that this is completely linear. So 2014 is part of comes in and came in at that point, and that's part of that present future, and it doesn't really affect anything before.
I mean, if Tony snaps them back to 2014, that makes sense, because then that continues the timeline.
That's the way they could put a headcanon in it, which makes sense.
Like that's
probably the way to headcanon it. If you are struggling with that fact, that's what happened. For me, it's that the whole thing's just linear. I think the ancient one was describing how time works in that universe.
Yeah.
And that if they didn't put the stones in, that would fuck up. And then if they put the stones in, that kind of aligned everything. Now there's no divergent timelines. I just wanted to do a side note. When they did the 5 years later and the world, and they showed that world, it reminded me of Dragon Ball Z and Future Trunks' world. I got vibes from that. It's really dark. A lot of people are dead. But I got those vibes for that side note. But I think that's how they're going with it, as in like everything's linear, so there's no time divergent things unless there's
unless they actually there's one little thing that they missed.
Yeah.
One little
because
thing
I think everyone's saying I read a couple of reviews saying that because of the Loki incident where he escaped with the Tesseract, when they're saying that when Captain America comes back and drops the Tesseract to its rightful place, that kind of cancels out. Does it or doesn't not?
I don't know. It depends on...
But wait, so that means he put the Tesseract back in
1971
rather than that moment.
Yes.
So that means maybe that's why they have a Loki series coming soon. Maybe that's it.
Maybe. Yeah, because that happened. Loki has the Tesseract in that part. He doesn't get sent to jail.
Would that be part of this divergent timeline, or would that be part of the same timeline?
But
I think, tricky.
But yeah, I think
this is so complicated.
It's tricky.
I reckon they've, because of those, and I don't know if they're gonna buy into that or elaborate on that, but I think that it hasn't been wrapped up into a neat little package. They've fucked up somewhere.
There's got to be consequences. There's always consequences. As in, like, their main consequences that was in this movie is that Thanos from 2014 came into that present time.
Yeah.
And what year is it then?
2023.
2023. Okay, so... And then now... Yeah, there's got to be consequences with the snapback, man. Like, there's got to be, like, fucking 5 year or, like... the Ant-Man thing's interesting, so we get to see. Apparently, there's what's Cassie's character turned into a superhero. I've heard about.
Yeah, so in the comic books, Cassie.
Who's Cassie again?
Cassie Lang,
the daughter,
like the daughter of Ant-Man. Cassie Lang. She becomes a character called Stature.
Right.
It's basically just Ant-Man's power, and she can grow big and small and whatever.
Okay.
So now that she's older, she could take on that mantle. And then there's also Morgan, Tony Stark's daughter, Tony and Pepper Potts' daughter. She could be the next Iron Man.
Or
Pepper Potts can be the next Iron Man.
Or Iron Man 3 kid.
Yeah.
Could be next Iron Man.
Yeah. Or Shuri.
There's a lot of options. Or just Rhodey, just have his own movie, like fucking War Machine. Let's talk about let's go like all over the place again. Let's talk about Cap's decision to live his life. What's your thoughts on that arc?
Esky, take this one, man.
I want to see like that realized in a film. Like him going back. And
that would be the most boring film.
Yeah. It'll be like drama.
It would be like a CW. You know, it's like
It'll be
drama.
Yeah.
Dancing with his former lover. It's just like,
How Steve Rogers got his groove back.
Yeah. I don't know how interesting that would be.
that'd be interesting. Are you kidding? That'd be good.
Yeah.
Nah, you're not a fan.
You know what it'd be?
What?
It would be the first scenes of Up.
Yeah, pretty much, but with a superpowered grandpa.
You know what? Okay, fine. If they're not gonna make a film, I want them to make a Disney Pixar short, just of like no dialogue and Captain America going through his time and
trying to hide
old.
himself from current Captain America after 50 years.
Just give me a 5-minute short.
Because how long has Captain America been in ice?
70 years?
And we're gonna assume that he came back to 1970 or something like that. So that was a good 20 years of freedom before
the real Captain America came back. Man.
That was interesting.
And the thing is, like, he meets Peggy Carter again when she's older. When he gets thawed.
Yeah.
And then she seems surprised to see him. But then if Captain America and her have been married the entire time, she's like, oh, yeah, my husband.
We never get the name, right?
Yeah.
So that's a nice touch. It's kind of like, oh, maybe it's been him all along.
Yeah. That's so tricky, man. That's so tricky. I like how they make fun of Back to the Future.
Yeah, they're like, it's not gonna be like that.
But it's pretty much exactly like
it is. That's the beautiful thing about it. It's like, it's not gonna be like that. It's nothing like that.
It's exactly like
but
that.
It's exactly like
but
that.
But they like. I can't stand watching time travel films.
Yeah.
Because I get so confused. And I always have questions after, like, why didn't they just do this? Or why didn't they just do that? Yeah. So, like, when they did the whole time travel thing, I was like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
Like, did you expect that coming into the film? That they were going to do time travel?
A little bit.
Like,
okay.
We knew the Ant-Man element in the post-credit scene from Ant-Man and the Wasp was a huge clue.
Okay, so I didn't see that.
When you see it at the end, they mentioned that you can get lost in the time vortex when you're in the quantum realm.
Time vortex.
And that was like, everyone's like, oh shit, there's gonna be time travel of some sort.
Yeah.
How else are they gonna get like Thanos? They're probably gonna kill previous Thanos. I like who said why don't we just go up and kill baby Thanos? Who said that?
War Machine.
War Machine. Yeah. That's kind of like when people say, "Oh, would you go back in time and kill baby Hitler?" When we have those like little conversations about that, it reminded me of that.
And the thing is, what they say, it wouldn't affect their current timeline.
Yeah, it's like that's not how it works.
You have to bring something like a material into your current timeline, which was the stones, and that's how you change it. This is what I'm gathering from the time travel thing, right?
They're saying that's when they describe how like it's just linear. It doesn't change anything.
Exactly, you bring it in.
You're just adding to your timeline.
Yeah.
So that's what that's the time travel message they were going with.
There is and I haven't read these comics properly yet, but there is a comic book where Frank Castle, the Punisher, becomes Ghost Rider, and then he becomes one of the heralds of Thanos. Heralds of Galactus.
Right.
And Galactus gives him cosmic powers, so he becomes Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Holy crap.
And then he goes back in time or something to protect baby Thanos.
Oh, really?
From people assassinating him. And then it turns out that Thanos like ends up becoming the Punisher anyway, because he was raised by Ghost Rider, by Frank Castle.
Okay.
See that time thing? It just warps everything.
Yeah. When they hit the time travel territory, that's when everyone's got questions, and everyone's got, this could happen, this couldn't happen. Does it affect present time? But I like the fact that they're just going with everything's linear. No matter what. Someone thinks something or someone it's part of this timeline. It's one timeline.
You know what they should bring back? Nicolas Cage as Ghost Rider.
That'd be funny if they did.
And Wesley Snipes as Blade.
They could have done.
Oh, I think they're trying to make another movie for
With
Blade.
Wesley Snipes?
I think so.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah,
He's
think
old
so.
though. He's really old.
I think so.
That would have been a good opportunity to do multiple universes. They like enter like
They should enter
shit
Wesley
Marvel universe.
Snipes and Ghost Rider Nicolas Cage.
I mean, Blade is in the new Avengers comic books. They've brought him
So
back.
they're sort of
Yeah,
pushing.
and
Is it true that like hints in the comics is what could happen in the cinematic universe?
I think they take their inspiration from the comics because that's the material. But
I'm just thinking about the new ones.
yeah, but I don't know if the comic book tells enough, like a good enough story, then maybe, or if they're able to translate that into a screenplay, then maybe. But yeah, I think they mostly take it as inspiration.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We were talking about speculation for movies. Let's speculate on Spider-Man: Far From Home.
Okay.
What do you think the plot's going to be like on that?
How much time have we had from this movie Endgame, and what's the time jump to?
I thought it was
straight away.
So I thought it was before Infinity War, because they're like, "Hey kid, where you been?" He's like, "I've been on a field trip." I thought he's gone to Europe and then come back after the field trip.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then apparently I've been reading things where it's straight after Endgame.
Which would get a different arc because Spider-Man just lost Tony Stark.
Yeah.
And half of the school is 5 years older.
Yeah. It's weird.
It's like, all right, let's just
It
keep
would have
going.
been mad if that would be sick if Peter Parker's best friend's like older and more chiseled and lost weight. It's like
Ned.
Yeah, Ned was. Imagine Ned being like, I don't know, being like
He's
Michael B.
different.
Jordan-ish.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be so good.
What if Ned gets cast? Oh, Michael B. Jordan is cast as Ned.
It would make sense, but that would have been awesome. Like that kind of adds to the consequences of the time, the time jump, which I want them to actually add some stuff in the future movies.
Yeah. I've got a speculation on what I think the plot will be like, but the main villain in this is going to be Mysterio.
Mysterio, yeah.
Sick.
And there's going to be
619. That's Rey Mysterio.
And then so Nick Fury's in this one as well.
Yeah.
Sick.
But what do you guys think is what's the storyline for Far From Home? What do you think is going to happen?
Why isn't Nick Fury there? Do you think he's trying to, turn Spider-Man into the new Iron Man? Like mold him into, because he lost Iron Man, which is why not go for the protege Spider-Man, mold him and take him under his wing.
I like that thought. That's a really good thought because it doesn't make sense
any other way. Unless
if it's before Infinity War, then it's like he would go to Tony Stark and then what do you think, Esky? What do you think is going to happen in that movie?
I don't know, but the one thing that I like about Spider-Man films is that the villains, all the different characters,
the catalog of villains that
in Spider-Man universe.
Oh, yeah.
I just hope they bring more than just Mysterio.
Yeah,
like I've always, I liked watching Mysterio, like in the cartoons, but seeing all the other villains, that'll be sick. Spider-Man.
I mean, I got it.
So really, what theory do you have for Spider-Man: Far From Home?
All right, so I think because Rey Mysterio
619.
Ooh,
Booyaka, booyaka.
So what he's gonna do is gonna get Spider-Man on the ropes, and he's
which is a good callback to the first Spider-Man when Macho Man Randy Savage was in it as Bone Crusher or whatever he was called.
Right,
yeah. Good callback.
I like it. It's a really good callback. So I think because Mysterio is the villain in this, like he's a villain in the comic books.
Is he the main villain, or is there like a secret villain?
Looks like he's the main villain in the trailer.
Yeah. So, and I think in the trailer it looks like he's like fighting something else, like fighting some sort of other villain,
like Sandman-ish type of villain.
Yeah, like a water monster or whatever it is. What I think is going to happen in the movie is that there are going to be villains, causing havoc throughout Europe, or London or wherever they are, and then there's going to be this Mysterio guy who comes in and saves the day. And everyone's like, "Oh, Mysterio, yeah."
That's what it seems like on the trailers. Yeah,
in the trailer, it seems like that. And so he's doing that. He's putting on like a con so that he can look like a hero.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then
Megamind. Have you seen that?
I think so.
Very similar.
Nearly similar to the plot. I think Brad Pitt plays the stoic hero.
Yeah.
But he's really not the hero.
Well, Incredibles 2 as well.
Yeah.
They do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's the plot line for this next movie, because like why else would Mysterio be doing something to help Spider-Man? It would seem like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then I think that's probably like the first act of the movie.
Maybe.
Kind of like how like this movie was, the trailers were pretty much the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Which is cool. I love that.
I mean, and there were small parts of the rest of the movie, but it was like the trailer was literally the first moments of the movie. Man.
What I'm thinking is that my favorite part was that Doctor Strange didn't do much at the end, unless he all he did was bring people into the thing and then became a dam.
No. And then he did this.
He just nodded.
He said, "Iron Man, you are right.
Like he was
doing what you're doing."
He was one of my MVPs in Infinity War. He was killing shit. And then I could imagine him going through the timeline of the future, and the only part of the future where that they actually win, he's like, "Fuck yes, I don't have to do shit." It's like sitting there, "Fuck yes, all I have to do."
Literally, it was like this. This is the whole time. It's just this. He was just doing circles with his hands.
I just have to be an Uber and make sure that no one gets wet. That's my job.
This motherfucker, he's strong.
He is fucking strong.
He can do stuff.
Because he took on Thanos by himself.
Yeah.
And it seemed like it would almost be evenly matched.
He did well. But he did better than Hulk did in his battle.
Hell yeah.
And now
Scarlet Witch, who is I imagine also one of the most powerful of the Avengers, like was about to kill Thanos.
Yes.
And then he decides to like launch an attack even on his own people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so that he can stop her from killing him.
I like how they showcase how
that was great.
People
Because that's what I was in Infinity War, because I'm not a massive comic book fan, but I did read some of it. And Scarlet Witch is huge.
Yeah.
Like she's one of the most powerful ones there.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that they show that how strong she can be and what sacrifice Thanos has to take to like defeat her.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was really cool.
Yeah, that was awesome. Like
that whole female onslaught. I was sitting next to a girl on the cinemas and she's like, "Yeah."
I just don't know. It was like Captain Marvel. Like I don't think she needs help. You know what I mean? It's like she's got help.
Yeah.
But she
that was pretty cool to see.
She destroyed the fucking ship on her own.
Did.
It was really cool to see that the female lineup, because I think that's a little bit of foreshadowing for like an all female cast.
Yeah, they can
like
do
a
it.
Birds of Prey version
of
Marvel or something like that.
Yeah, because I think that's the Captain Marvel having a female film. Like those types of films are long overdue, but it's one of those things where it's starting to become more and more acceptable.
It's becoming the norm.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Where it's not a male or female thing. It's just a thing.
Yeah,
like it's not male or female superheroes. It's superheroes.
It's a thing. Yeah,
the African American type of vibe or the black vibe is now. I feel like this is next phase could be the black phase. We've got
Black Captain America,
King of Asgard, Queen of Asgard is Valkyrie.
Yeah,
and Iron Man probably could say Rhodey for now.
Yeah,
and then is there anyone else? Then you've got Black Panther coming in.
Oh yeah.
So I think the diversity of women empowerment and
ethnicities
is really getting up there. And then apparently they're making a movie for first Asian lead.
Yeah,
Marvel.
Shang Jin.
Yeah, something like that.
Who's
yeah.
that?
I'm not aware of this character, but he is the first Asian American superhero.
they're gonna put on film or on comic
film,
books?
yeah.
on film.
Oh, is he a comic book character?
Yeah,
I've never heard of him.
Apparently.
Yeah, I haven't heard of him, but I've read news that he's in like the production of that movie is in the works really soon. So
Yeah.
so diversity is the next. That's probably phase 4.
Oh, hell yeah, yeah.
Yeah, sick. I mean, like, come on. The Marvel universe is international.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
the market's
Well,
huge.
the universe is now like
The
intergalactic.
yeah, that's true.
I got it. So I just want to like before we're gonna have to get to Tony's sacrifice real soon, but
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
like the main thing. All right, so actually let's get into it now. Tony's sacrifice. How did you feel when did you know? When did it confirm? Because everyone knew it was gonna happen, but what part of the movie confirmed that he was gonna sacrifice himself?
They foreshadowed that in the beginning of the film
Yeah.
when he's talking, you know, and then I think they foreshadowed it again when he starts talking to Cap, like having that bitter argument with Cap
Mm.
and saying like we wanted to put a thing around like the Earth, like it's you can see he wants to do something to save the world. Like he just
Put a shield around it.
yeah, he wants to, and when he finally figures out the time travel, he's like, you see it in his face. He's like, he's gonna have to do something about it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he's not gonna be able to sleep. And then,
Sorry, best line of that fight in the beginning between Cap and Iron Man was, you said that if we win, we'd win together, and if we lose together.
Yeah.
And we lost, and you weren't there.
yeah, oh,
That hurt, man.
I was like, oh,
Yeah, that was a good line.
I was like,
That's good
oh
writing.
shit. You're a liar, Captain
Oh.
America.
oh, right in the heart. There's a punch in the heart. That
I
one.
know.
But yeah, you could see that, and even from the first film. So I watched a bit of Iron Man 1 again today. You see, when he finds out that the weapons from his company are being used by insurgents in another country to kill people, he has to go do something about it. He has to go save people. He has to do this. And so throughout the movie where he has that argument with Captain America, and then he decides to move on, has a family, and then decides to come back, I'm like, yeah, something big is going to happen. He has to make this massive sacrifice. Otherwise,
Yeah.
like...
It's foreshadowed in Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
Where he's visioned everyone dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
But in the movie, when did you like, oh, it's happening, it's happening? When the dam actually went.
Yeah,
held up his
Doctor
finger.
Strange. Doctor Strange just goes. He raises one finger just to remind him there's only one way, as if to tell him, is like, you have to die.
Yeah,
right now.
you have right now.
You gotta die.
Right now.
It could be me, but I gotta keep everyone from being wet. Man, so the Doctor Strange in Infinity War and Doctor Strange in Endgame are two different Doctor Strange.
They gave him no lines.
Oh man, gosh.
But yeah, like that. Yeah, I think it was that. Like when he starts, when Doctor Strange gives him eye contact and like just nods.
Yeah, nods. Yeah, nods. Give them nod.
You need to do it now. That's when I was like, okay, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
It has to happen.
Yeah. Well, Captain Marvel was the cool thing that she did was held the snap the fingers apart, and
it mirrored the scene with Captain America. From Infinity War.
It's kind of like a secret passing of the torch type of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
this is your new leader now.
Yeah.
But then again, do you think Captain Marvel will be the leader of the Avengers? Because she seems to be not really dedicated to Earth. She seems
Her priorities look like they're elsewhere.
Yeah.
I think
Because if Captain Marvel and the Earth was like a relationship, it doesn't seem to work out. You know?
I think like I didn't enjoy Captain Marvel as much as like a lot of people have enjoyed Captain Marvel. I think it's a good movie. I just think that
character.
Yeah, I think there wasn't enough like character development in it. Like there wasn't enough of a change. You know,
Except the haircut.
yeah.
I love Rocket's remark. It's like, oh, what are you going to do? Get another haircut?
But I think in order for her to be the leader of the Avengers, like for me,
stay.
yeah, for me, there hasn't been enough trust built up. Like you see a story arc, and maybe it will be one where in the second movie there's more character development for her. But in the first movie of Captain America, he's a scrawny kid, and then all of a sudden turns into Captain America.
And still keeps that state of mind.
Keeps the state of mind that he needs to protect people, to do everything in his powers to protect people. So from the get-go, I'm like, yeah, well, this guy's...
You know what he's about.
Yeah, you know what he's about. And then, you know, he goes through and he has to... I think it's First Avenger Civil War? No.
First Avenger, then Winter Soldier, then Civil War.
Yeah. So he goes through all of these things, and there's different stories. And so that builds up your trust and emotional investment into the character. This one movie for Captain Marvel is good, but then, like, I think
there's no struggle after the end scene of Captain Marvel.
There needs to be more struggle. There needs to be more of a, like, depowering. Because I think
she needs to be put down a peg because she's cocky as hell.
Yeah, but I think just like Thor is powerful, Thor was the most powerful of all of them, and then in Ragnarok he gets his shit taken away from him, and I'm like, yes,
struggle.
He's struggling. He has to like go through some sort of hero's journey.
Captain Marvel hasn't reached that yet.
Yeah, not yet.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah.
But back to Tony's sacrifice, I don't want to like get away from it too much because that's really a significant part of the movie. Like, I think that made sense, and it was a nice wrap up.
I'm just gonna press this one more time.
It was a nice wrap up for his character. The thing that really broke my heart on his death is that he wasn't able to speak after the snap. He was just really just a vegetable, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like he didn't have he had one reaction. It kind of like, because you're used to seeing Tony making smart remarks constantly, even in death. In the first one, he mentions this, like, has anyone had shawarma before? Let's go get shawarma. And like the fact that he wasn't able to speak, he was still, and he just struggling to exist was like confirmation.
It just illustrates that finality of it all.
Yeah. The last thing he said is, "I am Iron Man." I think that's a perfect ending.
Hang on, wait.
Hey, good timing.
That's a good one. If that wasn't the right one, you have to press it again.
Good timing. But I think that what they did to wrap up that character was pleasantly perfect.
Yeah.
He saved the world like he wanted to.
Yeah.
And he made that sacrifice, and he righted his wrongs, and that was great. There's a lot of him, like that whole build up from there, that whole scene, that segment where Doctor Strange told him that's the one, and him taking the stones. Everyone's like, "Oh fuck, he's got the stones!" I remember one of our mates, I think Gomez. I think my wife was saying that Gomez yelled at, "But he's gonna die though!" And I'm like, "Oh, this is it." Made the snap, and then everyone disappeared. It's like, I'm just trying to figure out, how does the snap work? Do you put it in your mind on what you want to do? Because then the Mind Stone connects to your mind, and then when you snap,
I guess so. Yeah.
So it's like making a wish, but snap. Pretty much.
Yeah.
What if at that moment you think about ice cream?
Everyone turns to ice cream.
I want half of the universe to come back. Chocolate chip ice cream. No!
Oh well, I got my chocolate chip ice cream.
That's hilarious.
What did you think of that sacrifice by Tony Stark?
Yeah,
Iron Man.
I didn't know. I had no expectations of anything.
Yeah.
Except that Iron Man was gonna die.
Yeah.
Like
you were expecting.
Yeah,
it?
well, that's what everyone was saying.
It was a 50-50 chance
Everyone
between
was
Iron Man
saying,
and Cap.
Yeah.
Who's gonna die?
Who's gonna die?
And like, I had a feeling that both of them were gonna die. I thought they were both gonna die, but the way they did it, like, one dies and the other one
retires
basically. Pretty much, and that kind of makes the circle, like, he's definitely not going to come back because that timeline, that timeline loop is going to be continuous. And he's got the life that he wanted to get now. So that kind of like closes the chapter for Captain America.
Yeah.
But what's your thoughts on the passing of the shield to Falcon?
It's appropriate because it's from the comics as well.
It was kind of like a secret love triangle between Cap, Bucky, and Sam. And I'm like, ooh, and he was like giving his rose. It was like the Bachelor, and the shield's the rose.
Who gets the shield?
Oh, man.
And then when it was funny that was in my head for a bit. And then when Sam turned to Bucky and Bucky does the head,
Yeah,
nod,
the head.
you're the
nod.
one.
You're
the one,
respectfully.
You can just take the rose. So we have now. We got Falcon, Sam, as maybe Captain America. I'm going to assume that he's going to go through a stage of his arc where he doesn't feel deserving of that
mantle.
Of that mantle.
Yeah.
There's got to be that arc.
Yeah. Avengers without Iron Man, Captain America, Black Widow.
Half the team gone.
That's Avengers to me. That is like pinnacle. And then Thor, obviously. So it'd be a challenge for Marvel to get us used to the new team. And I agree. I don't know if I'd watch Captain Marvel as the
leader. I don't think she is going to be leader. I think she's staying intergalactic. And then who's going to... All right, so since we're here now, New Earth Avengers, who is it?
Well,
who you got, and who's the leader?
I think Don knows the answers because you read the comic book.
Yes.
So there's already an Avengers team, right?
Yes.
Are they called the New Avengers?
No, well, they're just called Avengers because they're Avengers. In the comic books, I think the latest Avengers team up is Iron Man is still there, Captain America is still there, Thor's still there.
Oh, okay, there.
Then it's definitely not going to happen.
Hulk is now She-Hulk.
Yep.
It's like a different type of She-Hulk. She's Hulk in the comics is now a little more darker. He's kind of like evil and like a... There's this thing called Immortal. There's a comic book arc called Immortal Hulk, and he only comes out at night, and they find out like he's like linked to hell, or it's
oh gosh,
it's like it's a little more horror than it is.
But who's
Ghost Rider is in the new Avengers.
Nicolas
team.
Cage, tell ya.
Bring him back.
Bring back Nick Cage.
But I think the leader of
the cinematic
of the thing will be Black Panther.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Of course.
He's the Black Tony Stark.
Yeah,
of course.
exactly.
He is. So, but then he's got the Wakanda thing on his thing.
Yeah,
like he has to. Then does everyone have to go to Wakanda? Or there's Avengers. No, like so we do have. All right, so everyone. All right, so Tony's gone. Cap's gone. Black Widow's gone. Hawkeye's likely going to retire. Maybe. Thor is now an Asgardian of the galaxy, and who also? And Hulk is not willing to fight.
Well,
his
arm is messed up. So like
his arm's messed up, which will force him to be more intellect than brute.
Yeah.
So
exactly.
Now we're just left with Black Panther, Bucky, Winter Soldier, Sam, Falcon, Scarlet Witch. Who else are we left with?
Ant-Man, the Wasp.
Ant-Man, the Wasp.
Spider-Man.
Doctor Strange. There's heaps, man. There's heaps.
There is heaps. But who's going to be...
Howard the Duck, I mean...
When the Avengers... Who's going to be the team? Because like I think people have their own stuff to deal with. Like Doctor Strange is going to still be... Doctor Strange be like,
We could say that Nick Fury is definitely going to be there still.
Yes.
Still doing his thing.
Like... I think we've been talking for like at least an hour and a half now, so I'm just gonna do a time warning here.
Yeah.
As to help us wrap up, who is your pick to be this next team of Avengers?
I want to add another question. We'll do that, and then I want to ask who's your MVP for this movie.
All right,
cool.
Okay.
So we're gonna assume 5, yeah?
At least five.
At least 5. All right, let's do it.
Anyone from the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, it doesn't happen yet.
Okay, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to try to keep it realistic, as in, like, who's going to be on that Earth, because other people have other shit to do.
Well, they might introduce new characters, but...
They might. So I'm going to say Black Panther as leader, I assume.
That's a good one.
Black Panther as leader, Captain America, Sam, Bucky, because they seem to be, 2 and 2 together.
They're a package.
They're a package deal. They're the new
2 for 1.
They're the new Hawkeye and Black Widow.
Yeah.
And then we got Black Panther, and then we also have 2 more left, which we'll give it to Scarlet Witch, because she's strong, and hoping they might. I'm not gonna say Vision's part of it, but they're gonna bring him back. Trust. And last one, I'm gonna say fucking. Let's just say Doctor Strange. Then we have 2 mystic guys. we got Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch. Which wouldn't make sense. All right, Ant-Man. Boom.
What about you, Esky?
All right. I'm going to say Black Panther.
Mm-hmm. Leader.
I'm going to say Falcon. That's the new guy, the new Black Captain America. I'm going to go Blade. Blade's going to
He's going in.
As Wesley Snipes.
We're going all black, are we?
I'm going Nick Fury, of course. And then my girl Shuri.
Yay! That's Iron Man. Hey,
it's an all black cast.
And then Rhodey. Let's just throw Rhodey in there.
Yeah, Rhodey there.
And we'll throw in Valkyrie as well, Queen of Asgard.
All right, I'm gonna do. Well, I was gonna do like a. Okay, let me think.
Yeah.
The new team is gonna be Captain Marvel.
Okay, so
as the leader.
Okay.
Because I think her arc will involve becoming
Earth's
like
guardian.
becoming the guardian, but also becoming the leader that she can be for the team. Shuri as the new Black Panther.
It's new Black Panther. Ooh, a nice touch there.
Okay.
Michael B. Jordan.
As Ned. You've got Doctor Strange, of course. And you've got what's her name? I forgot her name. Clint, Hawkeye's daughter, is gonna be in there.
She was a bit special, eh? They gave her some attention there.
Yeah. And then one more, only one more.
I'm surprised no one said Spider-Man.
Scarlet Witch.
Oh
yeah, Spider-Man. Yeah, I would surely.
I just totally forgot. Spider-Man's in
it. Oh yeah.
Shit. I kind of was original.
Yeah, original. All right, sweet. All right, MVP of the movie.
You want to go first, Esky?
Yeah. Of this particular movie, Endgame.
I think he really stole the show. Can I say Thanos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he steal the show? He wasn't.
I know he wasn't in much, but I just like watching.
He died twice.
He only died twice.
I just like watching the guy.
That's complete circle for how Vision died in. Hey,
Vision died twice?
He died twice.
He did.
Scarlet Witch killed him with the stone, willingly, and then Thanos killed him afterwards.
I just like watching Thanos, even in I'm including Infinity War.
Yeah.
The guy just came to Earth and he just sat there. Did you see that bit? He just sat there.
He was strong without the gauntlet in his hand and without the Infinity Stones. And then once he had the Infinity Stones, that's like game over. What the fuck we're gonna do?
Yeah.
But okay. MVP done.
MVP for this one. I want to say Ant-Man. Ant-Man was the MVP for this one.
No, it was the rat.
The rat that
without the rat,
back.
The universe is fucked still. Without the rat.
No. Yeah, good. Yeah, right. The rat.
Yeah. No. Let me bonus MVP. Ken Jeong, the security guy.
Yeah. Give him more lines. I thought he was gonna say something
with the fake mustache as well.
Asian Avengers, yeah. Him, the new Asian Avenger.
Yeah, exactly.
Wong, who doesn't do much, but just
Mantis.
Circles. He does this as well.
Mantis.
I don't know if Mantis is Asian, but definitely she's some sort of Asian.
Some sort of Asian. And then we'll just throw in Michael B. Jordan as Ned. Just for good looking
As
sake.
Ned.
Because Ned is sort of Asian.
Yeah, I think it's Filipino.
He's Filipino.
Yeah, there you go. But he's going to be played by Michael B. Jordan.
I like. You know what was funny was seeing Mantis. So the scene
Yeah,
where they all come together,
Yeah.
and Mantis is there, and she's just like ready to fight. I'm just like,
What are you gonna
"Jeez,
do?"
what are you gonna do?
Well, you can put everyone to sleep, yeah?
Yeah, you got to touch every single soldier.
Fucking Mantis.
Who's your MVP, Raf?
My MVP would have to be... I'm not going to go typical and say that it's Tony Stark because that's the obvious. But I'm going to say MVP would have to be... Let's say... I want to say Hawkeye. No. Yeah, I'm going to say Hawkeye.
No, yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say Scar... what you call it? I keep getting sick.
ScarJo.
ScarJo, yeah, because like they actually did the sacrifice thing, and
Yeah,
Hmm.
they were the shows.
this was
They stole the
this was
show.
kind of like Hawkeye's movie.
Mm.
He had an arc that I've never seen before. I'm gonna say that just for interesting sake, but usually, you know,
That's
So
true, though.
Stark,
That
yeah.
is true.
mm.
Yeah. Man.
Fuck it, MVP, fucking Doctor Strange, bro.
Holding water back. Doesn't need to say anything.
I could imagine him as like watching, you know, throughout the whole fight, he's just watching the river because he knows what's gonna happen. He's like, I need to wait for my cue. I don't want to do shit. And then next minute he sees the river collapsing. He's like, okay, my time to shine, guys. Move out of the way. Only I can do this. I know because I've seen the future. Yeah,
Oh, man.
MVP, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
All right,
Nice.
all right, one more question. Out of 10, movie. Let's not actually do it. Let's do star rating. Out of 5 stars. What's your rating?
All right, I'm gonna go boring. 5 out of 5.
Nice.
I'm going to go 4.5.
I'm gonna go in the middle, 4.8. All right, now everyone knows that this is gonna be a great movie. You should watch it. Check it out. All right, and hopefully you enjoyed our takes, our movie review. And if this is the first time you're seeing the Cheatcoders, because I'm pretty sure we're gonna get a different audience because this is the first time we're actually sticking to a topic.
Yeah, just one.
And we didn't have an intermission song because we just kept going. But
Yeah.
you know, check us out, subscribe, and hopefully you like our other stuff too.